In this tutorial, we go through how to calculate individual level variables for use in regression analysis. In this case, we'll build on the data that we've already used in the first assignment. And what we have here is what you should have had from your first assignment in order to do the assignment. So you start off with here, it's a pivot table, and in the pivot table we have individuals from the origin destination survey for the sample that we have for the two municipal sectors, and associated with each of them is the distance that they traveled during the day for all of the trips that they've done. This dtrip1 filter means that only people who actually made trips are considered here. We can see here that in the filter we have the variable dtrip. In our row labels we have PID, see individual ID, and then we have in the values box the sum of ddist. So for each of the individuals it will sum the variable ddist, in this case for every trip that they've made. Now what we'd like to do is add another variable so that we can do some regression analysis. A typical variable to include in this type of analysis is age. So what we need to do is find the age variable, and we know that the age variable is an individual characteristic, so it's p underscore age. We're going to take that, we're going to put it into the values box. Now if you look closely at these values, you'll notice that they seem a bit strange. 100 is maybe possible, 116 is unlikely, 354 is obviously not possible for someone's age. The problem is that we're summing these variables. So in the same way that we had multiple trips on each of the lines for each of the observations, we have the person's age. So if we have multiple trips, then it's going to be the person's age times the number of trips that there are. So we have to account for that. The way that we can do that is to select in here, in the value field settings, we can use a different variable. So it should be either average or min or max. So if we choose the average, for example, then we end up having what seem like proper ages, and we can check to see if this is the case. If we were to look in the data sheet and we found a particular individual, then we'd be able to associate with that individual the age, and you'd be able to see that the age of the individual would be the same as this average for pH. In the next tutorial, we will actually go about doing a regression analysis. What we'll need to do for that is to take this information and then copy it into a different sheet. A sheet that we'll call p underscore data, individual level data.